Hello guys, brothers and sisters, moms and dads, grannies and grandpas. Welcome. I'm so glad to be back after receiving dozens and possibly with messages, hundreds of comments and response from you in regards to our last video podcast where I said we're back. The Sundance family is back. I was not overwhelmed, but I was filled with gratitude and joy towards you, our community, and to see how many of you seem to have been waiting for us to come back, and how much excitement I could feel in the comment section, and also to hear how many of you painfully tried to listen to my German talks and trying to translate them. Other people told me, or I already commented, I did not translate. I listened to you talking in a foreign language. I didn't understand a word, but I liked to feel you. I feel so honored and glad that everything that the stars aligned once more for us to be back in full swing and in presence, and to share with you and to continue building and nurturing you as our valued community. Guys, so nice. And in this video today, I'd like to answer some questions you submitted after the last video. So I ask you, and I ask you again, what do you want to know from us? We have been off the radar, off the internet for many years. I counted, it was almost 7 years. We were not really present on the internet internationally. And I ask you, what do you want to know from us? And I received some questions I'd like to answer today. The main questions we have been, I will do several videos, I guess, because there's a lot to share. The main question we have been asked several times from you, and especially long-term followers, is about our children, about our oldest children. These are the kids, you know, the oldest three, possibly number 4 a little bit. He was born 2010 in Costa Rica. We lived such a long time in Costa Rica. But you wondered, after you followed us in the early days when we lived in England, we were on benefits there. We worked so hard. Like, I worked night shift, Katie worked 2 jobs during the day. We worked 24 hours. We barely saw each other, but still we were. This is what led us to then transform our life and go to Costa Rica and finally create huge success through our business, helping and supporting you as our community. But we filmed in the early days us as a family. We were the very first family world traveling vloggers. There was nobody doing that in those days, and so you had the chance to see our now adult kids grow up. Our oldest one, Benny, our second oldest, our son Jaro, and our oldest daughter, she's called Ronja. And we received a lot of questions. You wondered. Also, knowing that we did not only share about a raw food lifestyle, but we are world schoolers, unschoolers. Our kids never went to school, and a lot of you guys wondered, well, how did this turn out? Yeah. And also interesting for me to recognize or to see that some of you ask it in a way that I'd like to shed light on, to see and to explain how different we experience that. And the question we ask is very often with a direction of, well, how do you deal with your kids growing up and like all kids wanting to do their own thing and being difficult in teenage years, and then becoming adult, for sure wanting to leave and create a life for their own. How do you deal with that? And what is with their education, with their jobs, or so that's something I'd like to talk about today in this video here for you. And I mean, it's a very special situation we're in, that we have been sharing our lives since 17 years, since 2008 on the internet. So not a lot of online families or people have been doing that for so long, so that literally you guys saw our kids grow up from small kids into adulthood. So that's a very unique situation, and again, it's amazing. It amazes me that all of this. So here it comes, guys. Yeah. So first off, we continued with, or the kids continued with the path we were set on, and that path excluded the normal socialized school system. Our kids had no desire to go into a public school whatsoever, because friends over the years, most of them were world schoolers themselves, traveling the world together with their moms and dads. But some of their friends also went to school, or even more so, I'd say, have been to school and then became world schoolers. And none of their friends actually talked about school as their favorite place. That they really enjoyed going to school each and every day. You don't hear a lot of kids, and especially teenagers, who tremendously, it's their most favorite place on earth is school and being with the teachers and public school. You don't hear this, and I think you can testify to that. So they never really had any good reason, because nobody was talking in favor of the public school system around us. And so that never happened. However, they tried some school forms, I'd say. One was like a free school, a homeschooling school sort of thing in Austria. They went for some weeks there. Then there is this amazing school founded actually in Ecuador by Rebecca Wild. It's an amazing person, amazing concept, in Costa Rica, from an amazing visionary, Marcelo, who created a big community in Costa Rica. There was this school they went to for some weeks. But all of this, and I think there was one other, anyways, all of this ended sooner than later, because there was too much commitment for them. School always requires you to be at a specific time, at a specific place. And we are all so free spirits that their projects, I could talk several videos long just about all the different projects, all the different things, the different languages they learn, the different arts they know, the different sports and exercises they do, the different cultures they're interested in. That would be an own video. But they have so many projects and things they're fascinated and interested in and passionate about, that they felt that this restrictive way how school is designed is not in alignment with their needs and with what they feel right and good about. So that is always what led, for them to stop going to any school. And then another thing is that almost at each school there is one or two or three or possibly even more characters who need special attention, who challenge with challenging behavior. So if it's a really good school, you can catch that, and the community can create such a solid, loving fundament that the few characters or souls who are challenged, who are troubled, who need a special attention and space and room and love and understanding, that they can be caught and they can be supported and can be helped. But it needs a very strong foundation and also good educators, good teachers in order to do that. And this was not very often to be found in a way. And then the rest of the class almost becomes like an educator or like a healer, or it's like the community is there to be the therapist of a few people or souls who are challenged. And even though that also is a good thing to learn, the kids felt at times that it's not their interest. It is not, they're not meant to be the therapist for a stranger. They rather would like to focus on their projects, and that's what they did. So this is how it went with school, with all of our kids. We tried it several times in different countries, different languages, different setups, but it never lasted, or it never caught so much excitement that at any school the kids went to, they told us, oh, I want to stay here. This is my life now. I want to do that. That never happened. We would have been open for that, but it's just the way life panned out, it did not happen. And maybe there are more reasons to that why it didn't happen. These were just what I could think of at the moment, why it didn't happen. Maybe Katie would have to say something more, or could articulate it better, or had different reasons. But for sure, I feel that part of it I expressed here, and I expressed it well. Maybe the kids also could say more about that. So anyway, the bottom line is they never went to school. But then, I don't know, a couple of years ago actually, our oldest sons, Benny and Jaro, they felt compelled to, maybe this is also like a boy thing or a male thing. They felt like they want to measure themselves. They want to know, how are we performing, or how are our skills in comparison to other kids our age. We want to know, Dad, we want to know. And so I feel that this was the main reason for them to sign up for an online school. It's called Clone Lara, by the way. It's an American-based, I think Montana-based online school. And so they decided that they want to participate in this school. But we never put any pressure on them. For us, it's not important. It's really, they wanted to do that, and we supported them. But it was not to get a degree. That was not really something that they saw value in. So it was more really to see, well, how do we compare to other kids? And also, which can happen if you are an unschooler or doing word schooling, you can sometimes get really caught up in your own projects, and they felt like also having some additional input, just to have some inspiration through a school system, to have like a teacher and educator who supports them or inspires them to do something else and something new. That is one negative thing I would say could happen or can happen in an unschooling life or world schooling life, that you can caught up in your own passions. And it's sometimes because there's so many passions, there's so much excitement in the things that you like, that sometimes you don't have as much stimulation or also commitment to try and do other things. And that's something they, after a short time, they really appreciated about Clone Lara, that the teachers and educators stimulated them to try some new things, to try public speaking, for example, is part there, to do some social projects. And they had to go to find a social project. They all went then to an animal shelter in Costa Rica to help and feed animals, stray animals, and which was fascinating. Because Costa Rica, there were like monkeys and sloths and all these exotic animals. So this is something they appreciated actually. They felt like, well, we are stimulated to try out something new. So they grew their horizon even wider through Clone Lara. And the three adult kids, they are adult now. Benny is 20, will be 24. Jaro will be 22. And Ronja just turned 19. So they're all adult, more or less. and they all did degrees. So it's like a high school degree, is it, or college? I don't know. I'm sorry, because I don't care. But it was some degree they finished with. Even though again it was not about that. It was more like achieving like a goal or like accomplishing a goal rather than being proud of the degree they hold in their hand afterwards. But they all did their degrees, and they did it with flying colors. They were really good because they were really like passionate about the thing. They just agreed to it. They felt like they wanted to do it, so they want to do it right, and they did. And our fourth child is Joa. That's the Tico, the one who's born in Costa Rica. He's in the midst of it right now, and he's also enjoying it. And I also enjoy, because we do always this called mentor reflections. So we talk about the things that they learn and reflect on it. And also another thing, what all three kids and Joa as well say that they appreciate about Clonara, is that they have a reflection and a better oversight about the many different things they're good at and they enjoy. Because if you just do world schooling, you have no reflection, nobody is talking to you about these things, you sometimes it can get lost how good you are, because nobody is reflecting on it. But in a school system, you have a mentor and you have reflections and some guidance, and actually you realize how much you know and how many different fields they have mastered through traveling the world with us. It's amazing. We did also, some of our travels changed a little, because it was a little bit more project based almost. Like Benny, for example, he was in love with old Egypt and with the Roman Empire and Egyptian history. So last year actually we went to Egypt and visited the pyramids, and we spent a month in Arabia, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We saw the old king's palaces and all these things, and so it became a little even more so like educational travels. We did educational projects, and our destinations traveling the world were targeted towards projects they were interested in anyways. And so this is how the adult kids made their degrees. No, there was no pressure. They wanted to do it. They also, now I finally also can talk about what they're doing now with those degrees. But none of them really needed their degree up until now. It might change. They're still young, so who knows? So but none of them really needed those degrees to do anything that they love to do. So let's start with Ronja. She's our oldest daughter. She became an amazing artist since many years already. She is giving and teaching classes in English and in German to her students, especially sharing how to do animal art. If I don't forget it, I will link her Instagram and her website below the video so you can check it out. It's really amazing. So people do not only seek her as a mentor, because she has been enjoying her entire life in painting, but they also pay her to paint pictures of their animals. So she's really into animal paintings, natural paintings, photorealistic, amazingly good. So that's her business, and she did this all by herself. So she created a website by herself, her Instagram, anything involved. Like she wanted also to do it by herself. Sometimes I consult a little bit with her if she asks for it. But she is really self-sufficient and learned everything she needed to run a business, to build a website, to have a shopping cart, anything involved in that. So that's her. She is an amazing artist, and she always was, but she just became better and better. Maybe that's another fact about the way how we helped our kids to grow into amazing adults, is that we did not only have like Clonlara, but we, along the way through all the years, we always looked for teachers and tutors to book them privately in the fields they showed interest in. So Ronja for many years was on a Zoom online school platform. It's called outschool.com. I think that's the correct name. And she always had teachers in classes there to learn different techniques, painting techniques, and brush and pencil, and all the different materials and stuff. She loves to do horse riding, so we in each country, or in many countries, we looked for horse riding opportunities for her. So that's Ronja. Benny, for example, he's our oldest one. He loves football, soccer. So in Germany, in England, we say football because that's what the world plays. It's not soccer, it's football. Anyway, so he loves soccer. And for example, I go into all the big stadiums all around the world to see like matches, especially in Europe, because the big leagues are all in Europe. La Liga in España, the Premier League in England, the Bundesliga in Germany, and what is the Italian league called again? Serie A. So we have not been there, but that's the next on the list. So I go to football matches with him, and that's something I really love to do with him because we're bonding so much. As I'm bonding with Ronja about her creativity. I'm a creative person myself. I love to paint, I love to sing, I love to create, I love to talk, many things. So with Benny, it's the football. Aside of that, he loves finances. He loves, and that's also something I bond with him because I love it as well, investments. He did several investment courses. He handles the money of his adult siblings as an investor in several different fields. He was trading like minerals and currencies, and especially also cryptocurrency, and manages the finances of the older ones. That's something he's interested in. And recently, as he has a girlfriend now and he's going back and forth between different countries to see his girlfriend, he brings it over into our family. He flies over, and we support him, and we financially also still support him, even though he has his own finance, but we support him because money is not an issue anymore in our family. And he is so appreciative that he started recently to work with me or us in our company. So he's doing administrative work, research work, helps me with my appointments with my clients, and is just very supportive within our company, which I do online and helping and serving you guys. And we have thousands of clients. It's $1 million company. There's a lot of stuff to do in our company. So he's working there as well. And Jaro, he's our second oldest son. His passion is also painting, but he has a different angle than Ronja. He's into not only painting, which he's also an amazing artist. He created his first comic. He's into comics, so he is like but comic requires more than only painting, and he published his first comic a couple of years ago in a print version. But he is not just fascinated about the painting part, but he also loves the story design, character design, then the publishing aspect of it. There are just several different arts that need to be developed in order to publish amazing comics. So that's something he is very passionate about. We support him. He gets tutors and courses in his fields, and there's more to say, but I feel like I've spoken so long already. I'd like to come to a conclusion here. Yeah, maybe you have questions, ask more questions. This is what I can share about our older kids. Each and every of our kids followed their passion. They know exactly what they're here for. They know exactly what they know, what they don't know, what they're not interested. They follow their passions. They mastered their passions because they had so much time and support from our end to do so. They are very passionate and in love with life. There's a lot of excitement and lust for life in our family, because that's how I feel about it, that's how Katie feels, and this is how we brought up our kids to be in tune and in touch with who they are and what they want to be, and then going for it. And finally, because it's the last point I'd like to talk about, with the coloring, I already addressed earlier that a lot of you think, or seem to think, that, well, when kids turn 18 or 20, they want to do their own thing, they separate. That's not something that we experience as our reality. For sure, they developed their own, but this was far earlier already, that they developed as teenage kids that already starts, or possibly even before that they develop their own things, their own passions, their own fields of interest. And but that does not mean in our family that there is any separation happening. That's not how we experience this. Our kids are all still living with us. They want to live with us. They could do it differently. Like our oldest one, again, he's traveling back and forth between his girlfriend and our place, but he wants to be with his siblings, with us. We are all best friends. We're not just moms and dads, and Katie is my best friend. We are all best friends. Their siblings are their best friends. I did a video, I recommend you watching this, about the language that we use, about how we communicate in our family, and there is no swear words, there is no negative pessimistic language in our family. We are very controlled and careful about how we express ourselves, careful with each other, careful with myself, how I'm holding. If I don't have a good day, I don't have to let my entire family know. I just keep a little bit more to myself. I do my energetic work to transform, so that we also coexist in a very small space with adult kids beautifully. Told you guys, in Europe we have an RV set up, so we are crammed together in such a small and tiny space, like 5 adults together and 3 dogs and the small kids. Very tiny space. We wouldn't be doing that if there wouldn't be a good chemistry in our family, and a lot of love and space within myself. I have so much space. I feel so spacious, and I have all the room I need. Yeah, so I can live in a very tight, tiny space together with the adult kids. So this might change in the future, and then it will be like that. It might not. Who knows? As of now, with 3 adult kids who all became adults, they don't have a desire to separate themselves from us permanently, or even for longer periods of time. Because if they want to see the world, if they want to go somewhere, we talk about it and we go there together. Why would they need to do this by themselves when all their siblings are excited? If anybody in our family has an excitement to experience something, to have a project they really wanna explore, they want to go to a place because they love to be the. We are all excited for the family member, and we all go together. Yeah. So so far there was no reason for anybody to wander off alone, because we always were going with that person, and the person wandering off to experience something always wanted to have us all around. And to us it feels so good. I feel so blessed, guys. And with that I can also conclude, I feel so blessed and so fortunate to have such an amazing family, such amazing kids, that they still want to be around us, that we are blessed with an intact, loving family. We're all supportive of each other. There's no swear words, there's no arguments. We don't argue in our family. But if there's argument, it's between Katie and me, and that very seldomly happens. And here as well, I'm very controlled and aware, conscious about how I express myself. There is no arguments or hate or jealousy or any of that sort within the kids' relationships. Really nothing. There's harmony, love and peace within our family, because I seek and look and maintain peace and love and harmony within myself, and so does Katie. So I'm doing my work, and I'm super dedicated, and I do whatever it takes to be in peace almost all of the time. And if I'm not, then I have coaches, then I work through that, so that I'm again rise and I'm in peace and in love. And if everybody is doing his own work, there is no reason for arguments and discussions and even hate or jealousy or any of that sort within a family. I feel if more people would live their life following what I share here, we would have a much more peaceful world. I'm looking for peace, love, and harmony within myself, and I'm doing everything, whatever it takes. My kids deserve me as a leader in the family, as a dad. They deserve me at my best. Wouldn't you agree about your own self as a leader or the mom of the family? They deserve me at my very best and with the biggest heart possible. And so I take this job, I take very seriously, even though everything else we're really light and fun and not like committed to one or the other way. It's like very free flowing, but I'm super committed towards my own inner peace. And I think this at least plays a little role in the amazing adults our kids turn into. Yeah, these are my words. There's more to say, but it's half an hour already, guys. I stop here. More questions, ask them. I'd love to be in touch with you, to inspire you. We also support you. If you need support in any way, let us know. That was my talk for today. I love you guys so much. All the best and see you soon. Bye bye.